everyone. This is NainaMD, Fusion of Science and Beauty, right here in Beverly Hills, bringing you the best of the latest, greatest in health information. And one of my guests today is Rose Jacobson. She is the representative for Transformations Enzymes. It's a company that is really tailoring products for enzymatic therapy. And that's it. How many of you guys have even heard about what enzymatic therapy is? And so I welcome you, Rose.
Thank you so much.
You've been with the company for a very long time,
yeah,
and very versed with all the what enzymatic therapy is. And I just, so much of integrative medicine is really about bringing information that people haven't heard about, and it has evidence based. It's got validity because it's just that it's not in the conventional medicine literature, but there's so much other literature that enzymatic therapy has been spoken about. So having said that, can you tell a little bit about what enzymatic therapy is?
We've been really specializing in digestive enzymes more than any other product out there. And enzymes, again, are catalysts. They're not coenzymes, which would be your food.
So you were, in terms of, like you were saying, in terms of enzymes where there's catalysts, it's really certain things promote, for example, enzymatic enzymes that promote digestion, right? It's a catalyst to digesting proteins and fats and and carbohydrates. So tell us a little bit about what you have seen, in terms of the benefits of these enzymes. In particular, let's just sort of, get that topic a little bit more magnified to digestive enzymes.
Okay,
what are some of the benefits that you've seen of digestive enzyme therapy?
Well, when you think about enzymes, enzymes basically what they do is they release the nutrients from the food that we're eating. And that allows us to use them for energy, cell regrowth, and cellular repair. So it's really a systemic enzyme transformation. So our therapeutic enzyme has so many wonderful products. Well, actually, let's say enzymes in it. We got 3 different blends in it. And the first blend would be your proteolytic enzyme, which breaks down the proteins and makes the amino acids available for absorption, which is really important.
And that's so much. So back in, why is it so important to really break down? Because you have these the foods that we digest, right? They're large. They're very large. They can't be absorbed by the body. So you have to break it down. And the enzymes really help in breaking down those food particles into smaller and smaller, increasing the surface area where then proper absorption can occur. And then all the nutrients get absorbed in the body, and that's how you utilize it, right? If you cannot digest foods, you actually end up creating inflammation, because you've got these tight junctions sort of that sit there called desmosomes. And if with the inflammation, these tight junctions loosen up. And when they loosen up, you have these larger food molecules and the food's been not digested now. So now they're like body's saying, okay, digest, and it's saying, I can't, I don't have enough enzymes or whatever's happening. And now these larger food molecules are starting to go into the body, and the body's like trying to deal with it and saying, I don't recognize this. This must be like a virus or a bacteria or something. I'm just going to build up antibody to it. And it starts fighting that. And that's how food allergies develop.
And that's why, like our therapeutic enzyme, the digest, it also has lipase. Lipase breaks down fats. And that's so important, especially as we age. And
what about amylase? Do they have amylase?
Yes, that's one of the polysaccharide enzymes that it has. We actually have a blend of 13. 13 to break down all those sugars, starches, fibers.
And carbohydrates.
Well, all sorts of carbohydrates, because all the carbohydrates will be kind of encompassed in all of that. The lipozyme that is a product for people who don't have gallbladder would be a digestive enzyme, and then we also have lipozyme for people who don't have a gallbladder.
To help break down the fat.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
And even though in conventional medicine, we say, this is what I learned, and I believe in it, that the body can adapt, right? It can adapt without a gallbladder to get assimilated to break down the fat. But this simply helps facilitate, because I still have patients that, even though conventionally and all by book-wise knowledge, that's supposed to be a fact, I still have patients that have had their gallbladders removed, and they'll say, I still have a little trouble breaking down. I mean, the fat still bothers me. If I take a fatty meal, I can still do it, even though I don't have my gallbladder any longer.
Yeah.
And simply by taking these enzymes, it can help enhance that digestion.
Well, what we find is that people who do lose their gallbladder normally have a hard time breaking down their fats before they lose their gallbladder. And that's why our Therapeutic Digest has the highest amount of lipase. So it benefits people who have issues breaking down fat, and also helps people who want to help sort of make sure the nutrients get to the cellular level.
Yeah.
And when our food is being completely digested, we have less food allergies. We have less inflammation. I mean, the immune system, 70% is in the gut. That's really
That's called gut-associated lymphoid tissue, which holds the immune system. People don't understand that. You have about 60% of the immune system is in the gut.
And when you think about that, so even if someone is taking digestive enzymes, even though their body may not be ready to do it, it's always going to be working because they're systemic.
Right.
And that's the difference. They're not just food enzymes, they're systemic enzymes, so they work throughout. And one thing I'll tell you about transformation is our blends. Our blends work throughout the GI tract, and that's what makes
some very unique blends, right?
Very unique blends, and that's really important because life is that stress, medications, and you know what? Enzymes are so important for, again, our hormone balances.
So for example, I do a lot of bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and it's so important to add the digestive enzymes because digestion is changing. As men and women are getting older and the hormones are declining, digestion changes, believe it or not. And sometimes we see a lot of people on proton pump inhibitors, which is 18 hours in a day. They have just no acid production because the drug is suppressing that. And then that's going to alter sometimes, certain digestive processes. So it's very, very beneficial. And I think what I've experienced with your the products has been the fact that the concentrations and the amounts and the way it's put together, the blends, you're truly are very optimal and very unique.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me, what are, just in general, you visit a lot of health conventions, and you hear a lot of people what they complain about. What are you hearing about some of the symptoms people have had that have cleared? Obviously we're not talking about in terms of treating, but just what's hearsay out there?
People sometimes they eat and they feel full.
Bloated.
They're so bloated. It's like you're going out to an event and you have this flat stomach. The moment that you eat, your stomach goes boop.
So a lot of people feel like that those enzymes.
We're tired.
Yeah.
We're not sleeping correctly. Again, it's that weight. Like if you're not exercising, that weight comes on fast. Sometimes. Yeah. So when you start taking the digestive enzyme, you're going to be able to, if you're a heavy exerciser, someone that exercises basically to maintain, which is very healthy, right? Yeah. Or let's say you go to a restaurant and you eat something that you normally don't eat. Most of those people won't feel a difference in their body.
Wow.
Because the digestive enzymes help, again, systemically, and then they help break down those foods. So that's really important. It gives you a little freedom. And I think a lot of times people, when they say, oh, I don't need enzymes, and they stop exercising for a week and they put that pound or 2 or 3 pounds, and if you're thin and you put that on, you feel it.
Yeah. And again, it all goes down to that if you stimulate the digestion, that's going to be better even for your weight issues because you're absorbing all the nutrients. So much of the weight sometimes, the body, even though we know that it's calories in, calories out, that's what conventional belief is, we're starting to realize, no, there's more to just weight loss than calories in, calories out. It's more to the metabolism. So if the metabolism is shifting because you can't digest the nutrients and the body's, so to speak, starving of certain nutrients, then that's going to totally affect your weight.
Right.
So I've used it in a lot of my weight loss regimens as well, the enzyme, replenishment.
Right.
I think so much of it is inside out. Did you know that, for example, there's allergies and especially atopic dermatitis, which is a condition where you just get the skin condition and it's just kind of like eczema, and you have these rashes that are just itchy and just not very comfortable. Well, a lot of there's literature that says even in children, 50% decrease of the incidence of or the improvement of symptoms of atopic dermatitis simply by the use of certain probiotics, and then mixed with the digestive enzymes is just enhancing all of that.
The digestive enzymes are good for everyone.
Even children.
Even children. And as we get
Even
older,
lactating and pregnant women? And
most definitely. Most definitely. Because we don't have any fillers.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. We use mycelia enzymes, and those are enzymes that are really GI stable throughout the gut. So that makes a difference. And again, children may not need as much, but if you've got a sick child, they may need more.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So this is I see, what are, other than bloating, what are some of the other symptoms that you're seeing?
Burping, you're seeing a change in the stool, definitely.
Yeah,
You see a change in the stool. If you're not breaking down your proteins, I don't mean to get personal.
Yeah.
It's purified. It's purifying. So it's just kind of it's like you smell. And if you're not breaking down your fats, and I think women have a harder time breaking down their fats. I really do. They're rancid. They their bowel movements change. So
and also we don't know if they're consuming good fats versus bad fats, right? So the more fried foods, the more oxidized fats you go out to eat, you don't know what kind of fats you just had. You don't know what the oils were made, what were composed of, and so forth.
Right.
So I think that's what the audience really needs to understand is that what an impact just not having digested food can make.
Right.
It can really adversely affect your health. So proper digestion is so important. And digestive enzymes, when they're done right, when they're made with no binder, when they're safe, and when they're formulated properly, and obviously in a GMP facility and a good manufacturer practice that is known as, and all of those guidelines are adhered to, then you come up with a product that can actually help enhance your digestion, and as a result of that, you get amazing health benefits.
Right. And again, let's not forget, it helps your immune system, because if you're getting the nutrients to the cellular level, your body's going to be able to repair better. Yeah. And it's very anti-aging.
Yes, I told you that's why I brought you guys on, because I hope you guys have learned a little bit about what enzymatic therapy is. Tell me, how do they get hold of this or learn about the company? What is the company's website?
They can look at transformationenzymescorporation.com.
Okay.
Or they can go, but really I would prefer that they go to your website. We also have a clinical notebook site, Transformation Affiliates, and that's got some short videos. But
I'll be posting those very soon on my website as well. We're just in the process of
We've been asking her.
I know. We've been just doing that. No, it's so important to I think. In just terms of, I'd like them to at least know about your product.
But really the best place to go is with you. I mean, you're my bioidentical doctor, and quick story. Dr. Fuller said to me, Rose, you can take all the enzymes in the world, but if you don't, she said this, I get nervous, but she said if you don't look into bioidentical hormones.
Or balance your hormones, basically,
she said,
right?
Right.
It's a combination.
Like, it's such a combination.
Yeah.
Because the enzymes won't do it. You have to include the hormones.
Yeah. And it's kind of like what comes without the other. I'd say, okay, you balance the hormones, but if I don't have the proper digestion to help my patients, then that's also an issue. It's a whole, and that's the whole idea of integrative medicine, is really seeing it all as a holistic, as a more of a complete picture. Okay. Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thanks for having me.
And everyone, will be right back with my next guest right here, NainaMD, Fusion of Science and Beauty.